Yeah.
I mean, we're going to New York. 48th Street is all condos now.
Is that right?
That was the place my heroes all shopped, and I used to read like the guys from Kiss were looking, window shopping and stuff like that. First place I met Paul Stanley in my life was on 48th Street, and I think it was Manny's. Remember Manny's on 48th? Of course. Yeah, of course, Manny's. So I was just the kid, 15 years old, looking, aspiring to. I have to get that, that guitar, whatever it was at the time. I had no money, so I worked in the deli in the Bronx. So I just look, what do I want, and get inspired. I'm gonna save my money for that. And I had this 6-foot-something man next to me looking at the same guitar I was looking at.
And it was Paul?
It was Paul Stanley, man. The first time I met him, I had the high voice.
That would freak me out.
It completely, I was this little kid too, and he's like this monster, and those are the days where they wore the heels outside, not only on stage.
Was he in
then
makeup?
he had him?
No makeup. No. But they wore
just rocking the makeup, shopping with the makeup.
Now that's a rock star,
that's
right?
Commitment.
But he did. Those guys, him and Gene, used to wear the. Ace. I don't think Ace ever did, but Gene and Paul used to wear those 6-foot platforms. Yeah, 6-inch platforms, which is awesome.
You do good Kiss impersonations.
I have some fun with that. I've gotten told to. Ceased a little bit.
Oh, really? You're not allowed to do it anymore?
Through some friends, not officially, but but we have some fun with it though.
It's too fun. I mean, your Gene. I heard your Gene one. I didn't know if you did a Paul one. Or
I do one with Greg Gast, the comedian. We had a great argument. We tried to get on Stern. Stern was talking about having an argument as Gene and Paul. He was going to do Gene,
perfect.
And I was going to do Paul and go right into character. How you doing? We're gonna. That guitar's beautiful. I want to have it. You could do all that stuff and go right into. And we have I think it was backstage.
Keep doing that. Can you do this whole interview with Paul?
So
just as Paul.
So I joined this band Anthrax a long time ago. I could write a lyric. It sounds like a Paul Stanley. A long time ago.
That's good.
That actually is. It actually is a Paul Stanley lyric.
Is it?
Yeah. We fell in love. It's all this stuff. It's on his solo record. Tonight You Belong to Me. That's pathetic that I know that.
No, it's not.
But I'm a diehard Kiss fan.
Me too. Dude. Are you kidding?
Great. That's one. Ace's first solo record. That's my favorite. And
New York
Paul's.
Groove.
New York Groove.
New York Groove is a classic.
I'll give you a little tidbit on that. Do you know my guitar player Scott Ian?
Yeah.
Well, Ace Frehley, believe it or not. Yeah, you know him. Well, we actually Scott and I played with Ace Frehley, New York Groove, at the opening of Yankee Stadium. Before it opened.
Damn.
Before they asked Ace Frehley, and he asked us to jam it with him.
Wow.
It was all on tape, but it was great.
That's amazing.
So I played Yankee Stadium twice in my life now.
Yeah.
That was it. And then the Big Four. So it was kind of that wasn't officially that, but it was awesome, man.
That song has it has some super mojo in it.
Yeah, I wish I had
the groove on that.
Don't you wish you wrote that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the checks. The mailbox checks are great.
Yeah.
And plus it just keeps going too.
Yeah.
I know there's no more radio in New York, but rock radio, but once in a while you hear it, and it's just nice to hear something brings you back a little bit.
Yeah.
A rock hit,
So that's how you came in through Kiss, basically.
Yeah, Kiss. Back in the day, growing up in the Bronx, no dad, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I grew up
made to be a rock star.
Yeah, searching, right? You're all searching. You're searching for that. That people like me. All that stuff. That's what actors do.
I got this God-sized hole. Who's gonna fill it?
I can't fill that. I saw Kiss on stage. That's Spotlight. That whole thing, and that's. For all of us, I mean that was a big deal.
Yeah.
But there was Zeppelin all back then. It was Sabbath,
Yeah.
But Kiss on stage. When I saw them on stage, I said, "That is what I want." Entertaining like that to that size. I mean that was it for me. Make people feel I wanted people to feel like I felt.
Yeah.
So that's what made me feel. I mean, they had for me, and I still say this to this day. I still think they had great songs.
Oh,
so people not
that's
Kiss.
Obvious, dude.
But didn't
that's
people
come on?
I know, but didn't people not
She?
Kiss?
What about She?
Dude,
Come
Kiss
on.
Anthrax covered She.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I think we did a whole record full of Kiss covers. Believe me,
That's
dude.
cool.
But I know She Walks by Moonlight and doesn't really know. Gene does that lower. That was just so much fun.
Enchanted starlight.
That's another lyric.
And then this line. When she takes off her clothes. Come on, dude. It's like.
Who wrote that lyric? Was Gene around there?
It's probably Gene, right?
When clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With girls and stuff. But Gene's calmed down over the years. I mean, he's married and all that stuff. And you know.
It's interesting when like you talk about Kiss and then you associate that with the sort of missing father too.
Yeah, totally.
That struck me because everyone brings up, or most people from like our sort of generation bring up Kiss as like a benchmark, but I've never heard anyone kind of associate it with that, like needing a parental figure and how Kiss facilitated that.
And they fill the void.
How can you go deeper into that?
Yeah,
like, what do you think?
Years of therapy helps me with this.
Right.
And I'll tell you exactly. You know what? Here's what it is. At that age, you're looking for heroes.
Right.
You need a hero.
Yeah.
And those guys, for me, were superheroes. And I've told Gene, I've told Paul this stuff, and they don't want to hear it anymore with me. But
oh, really?
Because I'm such a big fan, and what they did for me, they filled that void and made me believe in something. I guess I was scrambled up. This is after years of therapy, finding this stuff. But I looked to them. I said, man, they are doing something what I want to do. As a father would, I guess, if you had a dad and showed, my dad's in, whatever he is, he's a stockbroker, whatever, I want to do that. They made me see, oh, wow, I want to do that. They were doing something right that made me feel good. Yeah. And I feel that's really, it's a personal thing, but I'll always be thankful to them for that,
That's true. Me too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of love for them too.
Yeah. I don't see people like nail them now. I can't nail them now or make fun of them now. They've had this great career.
But not really. I mean, like some people do, but most people, I think, give it up.
I know. You just gotta tip your hat, dude. If I'm telling you right now, if you and I are 70 years old and playing Madison Square Garden, we're doing something
fair
right.
play, right?
Fair play, right?
Exactly.
You have to learn when to tip your hat and say, great job. And
of course.
Just seeing their career and what they've done. God, they made so many people, enough of the money, whatever. The money's there, right? But they did something that nobody else was doing. I mean, they did the Alice Cooper thing, but they did it in a whole different, crazier way.
They blew it up.
Blew it up big time. And I don't think there'll ever be, there's a lot of people that try to do stuff like that. I don't think anybody will ever combine that like that. The great music, remember the great music.
Great songs.
And great songs. And, Anthrax, I'm babbling on about Kiss here, but Anthrax toured with Kiss on the Crazy Nights tour.
Oh, okay.
And, I used to look forward to going there early, and they give us sound checks. They were great. And I remember we used to wait outside the hallway of our dressing room because those guys used to walk by, and we'd talk. And he goes, Paul, and Gene would always come up and just goes, you know what it's all about, Frank? It's all, and we pulled out a wad of dough. It's all about this. It's all about the Benjamins, Frank. And, and he was kidding, of course, but it was Gene.
But it's also like, he takes flack for that take, but that's a very Andy Warhol take too.
Totally. And you get that.
It's the same thing as Andy Warhol was saying. Like,
and it's honest. It's really honest.
In a way, it's honest, and in a way, it almost kind of almost frees up the art in some kind of way. Like if you strip it of any kind of pretension.
Yeah, that's that's deep. That's good.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
yes.
and Andy Warhol was a genius in that way too.
Yeah,
it's almost like just let's make this cheaper.
Yeah,
and somehow
so open it up.
If somehow you make it cheaper, it actually has a weird reverse psychology effect.
That's actually really smart.
You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah. That's going to make me think a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm going to take my train ride home today. That will be with me. That's great.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, so for me with those guys, so we would do this Crazy Nights tour, and I remember during the day
How long was that tour?
About a month.
Okay.
And this was great. We were good friends.
America, Europe?
America,
okay.
all around America. And you got to remember, Anthrax is different than Kiss, but we had a buzz, So I think we scared some people coming in. And that's great. That's all good.
Yeah.
But I remember getting there early during the days, and Gene would always be doing something with guitars. And one day he was at our crew. He was just hanging out with our crew and playing our guitars. And he was just going, and it looked like the Archies. He was holding it so high on him. It was Gene Simmons with his high guitar, and he was playing songs, Beatles songs.
Right.
He was going through Beatles songs, and he was saying, and so you know what it became? You know where I got this song from? And he would name a song, like whatever song he wrote. He goes, I got this from this song, this Beatles song, and this Beatles. He would go out and name the Beatles songs where he was so heavily influenced from Beatles.
That's wild.
And then it all makes sense to you. That's why Kiss is great.
Yeah.
It's because they went to the Beatles. They tapped that well. And they, and I love it. I love the way they did it. They borrowed.
Yeah. Did you hear Ozzy's new song?
I heard it. Yes,
It's very Beatles.
it's very Beatles. You know what?
Kind of Beatles and sort of Oasis-y.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Oasis too, which is not a bad thing.
I love Oasis too.
Me
So again, if you love the Beatles, anything
Yeah.
that pays tribute to any of that, I'm going to push
Right.
and say, look, because more people, please listen to this, everybody.
Yeah.
Listen to the Beatles. More
Yeah.
people should listen to the Beatles.
That's true.
You know, in this life, and I
Yeah.
think people will be better off for everything. When we toured with Kiss, we were talking about before.
Right.
The great thing about that was I was friends with Eric Carr. Remember?
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He's a beautiful
Rest
man
in
and
peace.
great drummer to begin with. Greater person. Just a beautiful,
Oh.
beautiful person. Friends with him a long time. Playing with those guys, and then getting to see them live every night. I stayed literally at the soundboard every night, and just to see how they worked. Not even if you're not a fan of the newer stuff, or it doesn't matter how they work the audience. I thought that was very important. Now, and it's not just about their how Paul does his Paul thing and Gene does his. I just think their connection. I learned a lot from them. Their connection, how to look somebody in the eye, and just make them believe, and you're having the best time in the world.
What do you mean? What do you go into that real quick?
I believe
looking fans into the eye.
Yeah, I believe
Like,
that's very important. You know, when you're at a show, look,
that's awesome.
it's the truth, and all I can do is bring out truth. I'm a fan. All I want to do when I see that, I want you to make me believe that you're having a great time. It's because I want to have a good time. I want to be one with you. I think we're connected. The audience and us on stage, I think we're connected.
Yeah.
I want to make them forget their misery in their lives, whatever misery they have. I want to make them have the best hour and 15.
That's why you're successful, because you're more worried about giving love from you to them than getting love from them to you.
Oh yeah, it's not about that.
You innately know that. That's
Yeah.
why you got success.
Oh, thanks. I truly feel that though. I think it's that important to make. So I saw this with Paul and Gene. You look at them, because I remember being that kid in the Kiss audience and saying, "Wow!" and Gene look, yeah, stuck his tongue out and wow, I believe I'm in. I'm in. And we were one. We were one. Right,
Yeah.
and that brought me a long way, and all this. That's what makes me want to do it every night. It's
That's
like, wow.
really true, because if you think about it, all that stuff that they're doing, it's like showing so much enthusiasm for what they are and for the music they're making and for life in general.
For life,
and it's man. Like an enthusiasm means full of God. Isn't that funny?
Really well put.
You know,
Yeah.
well, that's what that literally like enthusiasm's like comes from like Latin. It means like full
so that's actually the definition.
It means full of God. Like
Wow.
yeah,
Full of life, full of hope.
Yeah.
That's what music should do, dude.
Right.
That's what music should do, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting to with this whole thing. Those guys, Kiss, Maiden,
Yeah.
they made me want to get full of life. They brought life to me. I
Full
guess
of
you know
life.
it brings me to life.
But then like Gene, then in an interview will go, it's all about you can do the but really,
But we all know.
But in truth, he's full of spirit.
It's all tongue in cheek.
It is.
It's all tongue in cheek, and
because obviously like you like. You'll know them by their works,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and by his works, it's like, come on, it's
Yeah.
like so much love and enthusiasm is coming out of that
You know, and that's a facade
organization.
kind of. And
you
he'll
know?
say, and he'll
It's
say
like,
no. He'll say no. That's not about.
yeah, oh no, it's just about the money.
It's just
Quit
about the
being a
money.
hippie or
Yeah,
whatever,
but
you know.
and it's
But
like-
really, it's come on.
And even if he doesn't realize that, it's
Right.
Thank you for doing that for me. I don't know if
Right.
you realized you did that,
Yeah.
but it still that portrayed that, and it came to me like that. That's the way
Right.
I took it. I just want to thank you, and I've said that to him many times.
Yeah.
Just thank you for being there.
Well, we're like you know the whole phrase, we are vast, we contain multitudes.
Yeah.
It's like we can like pretend we're these limited beings, but really they're like each of us has like an ocean inside.
And you do. You just
You
open it
know.
up, and don't be afraid. You said before, courage.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to open that up, that
Right.
ocean, and that's the truth. That's what this music thing is, man.
Yeah.
It's an ocean.
It
It's an
is.
ocean.